Yes, your ex wants to talk to you. Most dumpers do want to talk to the dumpee after the breakup, and I know that may be hard to believe, especially if you haven't heard from your ex in months or weeks. Why would they want to talk to you? Well, stay tuned and you'll find out. Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love. I'm a dating and relationship expert specializing in helping you get your ex back or to get over your ex. And welcome back, my beautiful no contact army. Have you been a good little soldier and stayed in no contact? Well, if you need help with that, be sure to download my app Silencio, and the link for that is underneath every single video and podcast. And if you too would like to join our no contact army, all you have to do is subscribe and hit the bell notification. And to read our manual, go to nocontactsecrets.com, where you can read 2 free chapters before you purchase the book. And the link to that is also underneath every single video and podcast. Okay, so I just want to establish that just because I'm telling you that your ex wants to talk to you, I am not giving you permission to break no contact. No, no, no. They want to talk to you when they feel like it, not when you feel like it. Otherwise, you may end up catching them on a day when everything's going well for them and they're happy about the breakup, as opposed to catching them on a day when they miss you. You don't know how they're feeling before you contact them, right? And then you'll get rejected all over again and have to start no contact all over again, and that's not fun. So why would an ex want to talk to you after they dumped you? Many reasons. One is because the dumper is often ambivalent. They may still want you in their life somehow, but they do not want to talk about the relationship, and they don't want to feel pressured to talk about the relationship, which is what the person who's been dumped often wants to do. And that's why I say that if for some reason you need to be in contact with your ex, or if you happen to run into them, absolutely do not bring up the relationship or the breakup. That's what they're going to be expecting you to do. And when you don't do that, they will feel relieved. And that will make them more likely to reach out in the future because they know they won't be ambushed with questions about possibly getting back together. Now, people are often surprised that their ex is still watching their stories or following them on social media. Just because they broke up with you, it doesn't mean that they totally hate you, unless, of course, they do, because you did something to make them hate you, or they've got mental health issues, but usually that's not the case. So they may still like you as a person, but it's just gotten to a point where they figured that they would be happier without you in their life as a romantic partner. Doesn't mean they're not curious about what's going on with you or want to speak with you at some point, often just to catch up. But if you're trying to get your ex back, I strongly suggest you don't have those catch-up conversations because they will not lead to getting back together. And yes, this applies to avoidance too. People think that if their ex is an avoidant, that they're not going to watch their stories or want to speak with them, and that's just not true. Avoidants avoid feelings and relationships. They don't avoid watching stories and talking. And in my video from a few weeks ago titled 3 Biggest Mistakes That Ruin Your Chances of Getting Your Ex Back, I told the story of the woman who broke up with the guy because he didn't want to be in a committed relationship. And when she contacted him about getting back something that she had left at his house, he was the one who suggested bringing it over. And when he got there, they talked for 2 hours. They'd both been in no contact for many months. I can't remember how many, probably at least 6 to 8. And he had not tried to contact her once. So for those of you who think, oh, I haven't heard from my ex in months, there's no way he wants to talk to me or she wants to talk to me. That's not true. Just because they're not reaching out doesn't mean they don't want to talk to you. Again, it doesn't mean they want to get back together, but they do want to talk to you, even if it's just to find out why you haven't reached out to them and tried to get them back. So this is the part of the video or podcast where I let you know that, believe it or not, 65% of people who listen to me are not subscribed. I can't believe it. So if I could ask you a favor, it would be that if my videos have ever helped you in any way and you want to give back, just hit the subscribe button, and I promise that I'll continue to work hard and put out interesting and helpful videos. Thank you. Another reason why your ex may want to talk to you but hasn't reached out is because they don't think anything's going to change, and they don't want to feel frustrated and disappointed again, which was the reason they left in the first place. So why go back for more torture, right? They think that the problems can't be solved or that you've tried and it hasn't worked. So what's the point? So if that's their mindset, then the only way that that's going to change is if they start to miss you. And I've done several topics or several videos on the topic of missing you, and I will post the link in the upper right hand corner on YouTube. That's why it's important that during no contact, you're working on yourself. And people always ask, well, how will my ex know that I've changed? Great question. They're going to be able to tell from your energy, believe it or not. If you were very anxious before, and if for some reason you have contact with your ex, they're going to see that you're not behaving the same or asking the same questions. Or they'll be able to see it through your social media. Your posts will be different. You may even start dressing differently or get a different haircut, which often means that something changed internally. And that's why the person looks different externally. And hair has a lot to do with it, interestingly enough. Or if you're in contact with them, you just tell them, hey, I'm working on myself, I'm going to therapy, etc., etc. And often they're going to be interested to find out what progress you're making in therapy. So that's a good sign. And then the final reason why your ex wants to talk to you but hasn't reached out is because they don't want to lead you on and have you thinking that they want to get back together if they're not sure that they want to get back together, or if they currently think that they don't want to get back together. Especially if you didn't initially accept the breakup and you were chasing them. When you finally do go quiet, they don't want to open that can of worms again if they're not 100% certain that they want to come back. That's why when someone breaks up with you, it's important that you accept a breakup sooner rather than later and make it seem as if you're moving on. That way they feel safe in approaching you if they start to change their mind. So you may think that your ex doesn't want to talk to you, but in many cases they do. 90% of people will hear from their ex. So if you haven't heard from yours yet, it may just be a matter of time. So hang in there. But right now, I want to hear from you. How long have you been in no contact and how is it going? Please comment below. And you may not be able to talk to your ex right now, right this minute, but hey, you can talk to me. I'm the second best choice. So if you want my help in getting your ex back, you can contact me at theartoflove.net/coaching, and we will send you the rates. They're not on the page, and the direct link to that is underneath every single video and podcast. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. If you're listening to this as a podcast and you want to help the show, then please download this episode. And finally, remember, love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.